What? Welcome to Changing the Narrative with Red.
And Stacy.
And we're here to share our lives and our journey moving to South Africa. I want to thank everybody for joining today, for following, for subscribing, for sharing our videos with your friends. We really appreciate it. You do not have to be the neighbor that's calling the police on us for being too loud. You don't have to do that. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, join the family, come in, get a drink, get a plate, bring your own Tupperware if you want to. Come on through. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our lives or our updates.
Nice.
So, Stacey, do you want to tell the people what we've been doing this week?
No.
No. Spending time.
That too.
With family.
That too.
We are in North Carolina right now. We were in Maryland last week. We're here until next week, visiting my dad and my stepmom and my brothers. And we've been having a great time. Like, too much fun.
Too much
fun. We might have Zulu Baba join us later.
Did you ask him?
I did.
What did he say?
He said maybe.
Maybe. He think he's special.
He said he'll think
about it. You need to answer the question. You think he's special? He's not special. He told me a couple of days ago when he visited, he don't want to hang out in the city. He want to go out there in the village where he can sit up under a tree and drink some liquor and drink some liquor and eat some goat.
Drink some liquor and eat goat?
Yeah, that's what he told me a couple of days ago.
I'm telling you, this whole time that we've been here, I feel like Stacy and my dad are like the same person, and it's very creepy. Like, they're best buds.
Oh my God.
Like, they just do old man stuff together, and it's so adorable, but creepy.
I don't know what you're talking about. We can't be the same because he's like 5 foot and I'm 6'7".
If you say so. All right. So today is going to be a really chill day. I went through the comments from the last couple of months, and I just picked out a couple of questions that we can answer for the new people. I think we should do like a quick summary of like how we got to this point so far, because there's a lot of people who don't know the whole story. They just got here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, our people is on already.
Yeah. Why, Stacey? Why are you commenting on our video?
No, it's just. I guess it's finally working now.
Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Go ahead.
All right. Please don't gas him up. That's Papa Zulu. Good day, fam. Thanks, Lozy and Rodney. Good afternoon, you all. Hope we're doing well. Yes, we are doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Papa Zulu is in the house.
He's close. Actually, I guess literally he is actually in the house.
Yeah, he's literally in the
house. So yeah, gee whiz.
Sawubona to everyone. Yes. All right. So first, I wanted to just go over like just a summary, a synopsis of our story, because it's been what, a year and a half?
What?
In the making?
Of what?
Us moving.
Maybe.
So we started this journey a couple of years ago, during the panoramic. We
a double agent.
Stacy's a double agent. He's just special. I think so. And Daddy said he needed those 7 cows to feed Stacy. I agree.
Yo, I was eating like it wasn't going out of style, y'all. I mean, I know by the time I get back to Houston, I'm gonna be at least 10, 15 pounds more.
All right, Stacy, stay focused.
Let's stay focused, okay.
Stay focused.
Let's not talk about food.
Focus. So we started talking about it during the panoramic. It was during the time that Ghana was having their the return, the year of the return. And we were like, that was the first time we realized, like, oh wow, like we can go back. Like they want us. So we started doing a ton of research, and we looked at economic factors. We looked at infrastructure. We looked at cost, and we landed on Johannesburg. From there, we have taken 2 trips and didn't want to come home both times. Struggling these last couple of weeks right now until our departure date.
47 days and counting.
So we went through a couple of iterations of the plan. Initially, we were going to get our visa before we moved, but there's been such a huge lag time on the visa process that we didn't want it to impact our departure date. So we ended up not getting our visa the first round. What we're going to do is start off in Johannesburg, travel for 6 months to a year. We might change that, but travel for like 6 months to a year, come back to the States, and then finish out our visa process next year. But right now our plan is to settle in Johannesburg. We decided to sell all of our stuff. We sold our house. We got to get rid of our cars and just a little bit of the stuff that's in our apartment and storage. And then we're ready to skirt off into the sunset.
That's what I'm talking about. All that sounds beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I wish the sunset was tomorrow.
Let's see what the comments have to say. Let's see. How's it, Savonia family? Yes. Hello. I don't know what that means.
No, the comment about me being a double agent.
Oh, yes, you are definitely a double agent. He eats a whole cake for breakfast. He's been bland from the bakery. Stacy brought home a 12-pack of cookies, ate 11 1/3 of them, and handed me the scraps of the last cookie like, I saved this for you.
Okay, since you're going to tell that lie.
I'm telling you what was told to me.
So how did you eat your scraps? How did you eat your scraps?
I savored it. It was it was a lemon blueberry cake cookie. Like, of course.
Let me tell you how she savored it, y'all. So she was eating it really, really slow, and it was crumbs that was falling on the table. She was actually licking the tip of her finger.
No, I wasn't.
She licked the tip of her finger and found the crumbs.
No, I wasn't. I was picking up the crumbs that I made to throw them away. Can you stop this narrative? We're supposed to be changing the narrative, not starting false ones.
You're keeping the narrative going, but you was like, and her eyes was rolling in the back of her head. She like, oh.
No, I wasn't. Anyway, all right. So I kind of answered some of these questions now that I've told the summary, but are y'all moving to SA? So obviously, yes, we're moving to South Africa, we're moving to Johannesburg. We've been talking about other countries because we are going to be traveling a little bit for the first couple of months. So in case anybody was new, wasn't really sure what was going on, we are going to be traveling for a bit and then settling in Johannesburg after we're done with that. How was the visa process?
You just mentioned that. Put the comment. You want to put the link in the comments so somebody might want to ask a few questions.
I think
I seen my man Lozy and
if Baba Zulu wants to jump in, the link is in. It's in the comments. It's in the comments.
I seen Lozy, seen Jersey Gold in there, so they might want to ask some questions.
Mm-hmm. So we've got so one of the questions that I saw was, how are you learning the language? And we have not been as studious as we were initially. But check out our video. I'll add the link in the description. We're done. We did a video with the Real Plan is Tutorials. and he did like a basic lesson with Zulu. So we started there. There's a lot of YouTubers that teach Zulu. So we're using them to like make flashcards and stuff, but we have not been as studious as we should be.
As we planned.
Yeah, but we are going to get on top of it before we come, for sure.
The table said.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right.
I'm sorry. I need to stay focused.
I know you're not focusing. You just keep reading the comments, and everybody's distracted by your giggles. Sounds to me like Stacey is supporting bakeries. No problem with that. He's supporting his habit. How about the cook-off? What cook-off?
Bride versus smoke.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when we get there.
It's gonna happen in January, hopefully.
Yeah, that'll happen.
There you go, Jersey. What's up, brother?
That'll happen when we get there for sure.
Yeah. I gotta give me a smoker first.
Well, somebody's bound to somebody that can make it for you.
Yeah.
So you want to give a final update on your health?
Oh, I'm 100% now.
Like, tell the people who are just hearing about this for the first time, maybe people's first time listening.
Yeah, well, I was going through some headaches, dizziness for about maybe 2 months. And for about maybe 2 months, and I had to stop working early. So I had an MRI, I had an EEG, I had an ENG. I guess you guys know what all that is. And
a bunch of diagnostic tests to see like what was going on inside
the brain,
his giant head.
And everything came back negative. Everything came back negative. So then I started going to a chiropractor, not knowing that a lot of stuff is in the spinal cord. So I'm all cured now. I'm all cured. Right in time to get to Johannesburg and turn all the way up in December, because I'm going to turn all the way up in December. All the way.
So in short, the chiropractic services help more than
anything,
all the other stuff.
Yes.
But you are supposed to be doing like those inner ear exercises, right?
Yeah.
Have you been doing them?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Y'all
good.
Tell him to make sure he does his exercises.
I'm good.
Or it could come back.
I'm good.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying it's bound to come back anytime. What you call it? Vertigo. Vertigo can just come back at any, this is the second time I had it. So it can come back at any given time. But this time here was worse than the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm good though.
Sure.
I'm positive. I'm good. Let's go to Johannesburg tomorrow.
I wish we could.
Yeah.
All right. So I had somebody ask, I think it was 2 people in the comments at some point mentioned foundational Black American movement. I honestly had not heard about it, but it's been a thing for a while now. There was a guy named, hold on, let me see if I can get it real quick.
See, now she going on a topic. She ain't tell me nothing about this here topic.
No, I did. I told you that I was going through the comments, and that I was going to answer some questions from the comments. So the guy that started it, Tariq Nasheed. Oh, look, somebody just posted in there. Tariq Nasheed, the world's #1 race baiter, as I guess that's self-proclaimed. He believes that Black Americans came here before slavery started and were the founders of the United States, and they haven't been given credit for it. And he is rejecting Pan-Africanism, saying that we have a specific and unique shared culture and all that kind of stuff. Like that's the basis of it. I mean, I get it. I guess. I mean, I don't understand why those two things can't exist at the same time. Why you can't believe in the foundational Black American, but also understand that we're part of a greater diaspora of Black people. Um, so I mean, I don't really know. I don't feel that passionate about it. I mean, I agree that there were Black people here before slavery started, and I believe that the Black people that were here, regardless of how they got here, were foundational Americans, just like Native Americans. Um, were here before Europeans arrived and stuff like that. We had been Black Africans had been trading with the natives for centuries before the colonials arrived. So I mean, I don't feel any way about it. I mean, have your stuff.
Losey said something about that, what you said just now.
Let's just
FBI makes a lot of sense, to be honest. FBA, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But to the exclusion of Pan Africanism, like I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know if you can you can support both.
Lowe's, do you have any input on that?
Ayoba says I don't support Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism has been hijacked. What do you mean by that? Tanya says, "Hey y'all."
Hello.
So let me know what y'all think about it. I don't want to say I don't feel passionate about it. I feel like that, I think we all agree that we were foundational to the formation of this country, regardless of how we arrived here. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You have anything to add?
I think it's about time we get Baba Zulu on, I guess, if that's what y'all call him, and that's what he's been calling himself for the past like 5 months. Oh shit, he just walked in. He just walked in. No, you Baba Zulu. I guess you Baba Zulu. You ain't have to guess, Can y'all hear him?
Are you getting on?
You got to, because I'm already watching. Feel like a star around. Follow me around on red carpet.
Oh my God. Y'all got his head so swollen.
What do you think about the foundational Black American movement?
It's nothing new. It's nothing new. What's the guy that bought the ship that America locked up? The guy who started Pan Africanism.
Yeah, can you get on camera though?
You let y'all know the people. I like to say something.
He's on his way to get on camera. Y'all's Baba Zulu.
I put the link in the comments. Don't be sighing like that. You know you want to be on.
Look at him. He's on his way, y'all. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of input to say on this. Being much older, he has a lot more knowledge. So
let's see. Losey says Tariq is hijacking FBA like how Pan African has been hijacked. At the core of the ideology, you can support both.
I knew Losey has some good input.
Let's see. Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Colors documentaries are actually incredible. I would actually recommend people to watch. His theories can be found in these dossiers. Okay. We'll take a look. We might watch that after the show today.
Okay. We can. Thanks, Lethebo. You know who he is, right?
We need to know.
Oh, here we go.
All right, we got
Losey in the building. Oh, Losey, and we got, oh boy.
And we got Baba Zulu on. All right, Losey, what do you think?
Think about what?
The foundational Black Americans.
Okay, well, let me just say this. That information about Africans being here before Europeans is a possibility. But I have never seen any factual links to that. but they talk about how the faces that appear on monuments, you know, ancient monuments, appear to look like Africans, or that the temples that they built tended to look like pyramids, which come from the African continent. And even the Egyptian pyramids, we know for a fact, are copies of ancient tribes in southern Africa, south of Egypt and all the, you know, those.
I mean, but we know that life originated in Africa,
Yeah,
and we know that
the sub-Saharan.
before all the land pieces broke apart, it was all one landmass.
Hmm.
And so when people migrated across the landmass between Alaska and Asia, they brought over, a lot of you know, a lot of that architecture and culture and stuff like that. So I mean,
You know, to me, all of those are just talking points, because we realize that the greatest influx of knowledge across the board, foundational knowledge, came from Africa. You know, they had the biggest libraries that the Europeans was trying to get over to get all of the information. They were using construction uh, uh, techniques that had never been seen before in the world. And so, you know, but I mean, but what actually does that mean? What, because we've seen that even though we know all of that, where has it gotten us as the global majority? That's a question I would like to know.
yeah, Losey, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, good day, fam, brother Stacy and the wife and Baba Zulu there. Greetings to the house in the house and in the private in the chat room. Yeah, interesting. For me, I guess I'm a bit confused now because all along I thought foundational Black Americans it's basically focusing on the Africans that came probably 400 years ago, you know. So it sounds like it's dating even the blacks that were there earlier on, which I don't doubt is it could be true, but I don't think to what scale, how many black people were there before the Atlantic trade. I mean, we don't know that. And to as Baba Zulu said, to what's important is it at this day, you know. I support FBA, who stand for the community of Black Americans who were brought there 400 years ago through the injustice system that they had to deal with there. I support them in a sense that they should get things like reparations. They should be recognized as a group, as a nation of Black people who have went through their unique history and experience. In essence, the reason why they should be recognized in that way it's for when it involves things like reparations, because you guys are faced with your own unique struggle. That if anything needs to be paid back to that specific group, it should go to the rightful descendants of the Atlantic trade. I support it in that sense. But dating back the thousands of years where with other blacks who were there, I don't know. I don't see how is that relevant and it helps. How can we trace those blacks and find them today? Did they go through the same experience as the group that came there for 100 years? I guess people like Tariq knows well about that. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, my stand is on that. I support I support the Black Americans who specifically were brought there 400 years ago for that specific reason of being recognized and whatever is owed to them to be paid back. Even for building one of the greatest nation, I mean, it should be recognized.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I feel like the debt isn't only just owed to Black Americans, but I mean, if you look at the how the African population was decimated in West Africa during the transatlantic slave trade, um, like was a huge blow to the economy. I mean, you don't have the manpower to farm and um to build knowledge and all that kind of stuff. If you don't have the population growth, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the damage that the transatlantic slave trade has caused, like it's massive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no amount of money that, not saying that there shouldn't be an amount paid out, but it's something that can never be repaid. You know what I'm saying? You know, not to mention the psychological damage that has been caused, physical damage, spiritual. You know, there's no price. There's no price to put on it. And I don't know. I just feel like having all these different labels. To Daddy's point, like what do we gain by having another label? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it bring us closer? Does it breed more division? Like what are we gaining from this additional label? Like that's how I feel about it. Bill, we're old at that.
I,
I feel like we do have a unique experience, just like every other group of people, you know, across the Black diaspora have a different, unique story. You know, Black people in Australia are going to have extremely different story than we have, and the Black people in Europe are going to have a different story. But I don't know. I just feel like this is just another label. I
I
don't
see.
know.
I mean,
Guess
I
we got
don't
something to
think
watch
it
today
will
then
cause
instead of football.
I don't think it will cause any division, because if you look at what happened to the Jewish community, and I mean, they had to actually also box themselves and put themselves in a group to be able to achieve what they have today after what they went through. So I think it was very important that they were, although they still probably Western, majority of them, they still white, but they had to stand on their own group because they went through a very specific experience. So I think it's fair to say Black Americans should be recognized. There's another Black group, just like I'm South African. You find Malawi and you find Zimbabwean, everybody, but we all Black. So because we've got all different experiences, I guess it helps to start from like building the foundation of your own communities. And I believe that's how we're going to rise. If we just say we all Black, I feel like it won't do justice to other communities that probably could be behind, or they still need to build their own foundations to rise as people. And I think it's happening in it's in every race. I mean, even in Europe, you find the French people, you find the Italians, the Spanish. You go to Asia, it's the same. You go to Southern America, it's the same. So I believe it's only natural to say, look, we all Black, but we all, as Black people, we all not yet at the same level. We don't have the same past. We're not coming from same background or faced with same challenges. But while we want to grow all together in the ideology of Pan Africanism, we must also be on the practical side in terms of what is currently on the ground. What are we dealing with among different groups of Black people? So for me, Pan African ideology is where we can all come together as Black nations and compete among Blacks and compete to trade among ourselves to have that competition to share knowledge and skills. It doesn't mean we just all neutral the same people, but we are all under the umbrella of Black people, and we should recognize ourselves as Blacks first. But I think we literally can break it down to find different groups who have got different purpose, or who wants to achieve different things in different time. So I think it can still work, but we need to recognize is that we're going through different experiences even now. Like, for example, the problems of someone in Uganda and their community, they're going through something totally different to someone in Namibia. I mean, a community in Namibia, a community in the diaspora, Caribbeans, and it's due to economy, of course, at the core. So I think we need to recognize that the groups are not on the same level. That's why sometimes Pan African idea, many people now today they're turning their back on the Pan-African ideology because it's not being executed well to the public. They're not executing it the way it's supposed to be executed. I don't think Pan-African says we're all the same. We don't have our own communities or groups. I guess Pan African is trying to say we are all black under the same umbrella and we should all be on the same principles to uplift the black race first. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with a lot of what you said as far as, all different Black communities having different needs and different struggles that need to be addressed. But we've got so many labels for Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? And even if you look at just Black American communities, if you look at a community in Detroit versus a community in New York, they're going to probably be very different needs and stories. So I mean, there's always differences. There's always um, different stories, but at the same time, like if you're going to put a label on it, I mean, and I think we need to watch these documentaries so I can really see where he's coming from with this label. But I just don't see how it's different than any of the other labels for Black Americans, in that they're Black Americans or African Americans or whatever labels there are. It just seems like they're like, what's the purpose that it's serving? Like that's my main question, but it might be answered by the documentary. And so we'll come back next week and we'll talk about it. Yeah, for sure. But I definitely appreciate your commentary, Lucy, as always. You're very informed and appreciate your comments.
No, that's my pleasure. I appreciate it. Yeah, but it's true. For me, I think Black Americans had to have many labels like that. I mean, the rise of people like Tariq. I think for me, I just see Black Americans, specifically those who went there 400 years ago, as just those Black Americans. I don't. I agree with many labels. It causes confusion, but I understand where many labels.
I think you might have lost him.
Yeah.
You might have lost him.
Oh, heck.
Can't hear you, Rosie. Try to jump back on if you can.
The Keeblers are ghosting us.
So what?
Nothing, nothing.
So Baba Zulu, how you enjoyed your past week?
It's been tiring having to deal with my refrigerator door open and closing, open and closing, open and closing, because some big black guy keeps wanting a snack. The pets are even afraid because they might be on the menu. We just don't know what might happen. Cat de jour, a delectable Dobby.
Who?
Dobby.
The dog?
See, even he knows. But it's okay. It's been lovely, really, really. And I'm enjoying this discussion. But my comment is that there's always been a macro and a micro. And yes, I know you look confused, Bertles. But the point I'm trying to make is when we talk about the groups, how we've been labeled, how we have been labeled. Even though some of us might say we chose those labels, a lot of those labels were forced upon us. And with as far as going back to we are one group, just like we have different families. We have little micro villages, micro diasporas. See, like in this family, we're facing right now a micro diaspora because you guys are moving off. But it's a homemade diaspora. It's a homemade because you guys have chosen to take this route. But and this is what I wanted to talk about next week, but I'll introduce it today, is that I've listened to over a year of the train of going to Africa and why and what's going on. And what I want you guys to understand is that when you do that, there are connections.
I don't know what happened to it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you still there?
You trying to throw me off?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I need y'all to recognize that every what is the guy's name that we lost?
Lozy?
It's Lozy. Yeah, yeah.
Lozy. Okay.
He's back.
When you guys leave, it will affect every family differently. And I don't hear you guys really address that. What I continue to hear you address is why we're doing this, why we're going, why. And I think I am proud of you. Really, I am. But I think you need to understand that those who may not be on page with you guys doing it is because of emotional connections. When you leave, a part of us goes. Can you imagine back in during the enslaved time period when they were just separating families, breaking them up, busting them up? And so that's a very, very spiritual thing with Black families. To have that family, even though we have ups and downs, some out, some in. For you guys going to Africa, for me, is really it's emotional. It's emotional. And that's all I want to say about it. But I want to dig into that more next week. And so that I want to hear from those who have left America to start a new life in Africa. Not so much how you felt your family may not have agreed with you, but why? Why do you think? And do you think it's helpful to continually force feed them reasons, that is right for you without even attempting to understand what it's going to do to everybody else? And I think that's something that's missed in the conversation. Because I'm not a hater at all. I'm good. I am happy y'all are living your best life. I'm just too old to do that now. My best life is right here. This is my best life. But when I come to Africa, I do want to. I want to visit the people, who have been there, have lineage there. I want to get with the everyday people. I want to see what they do what they do. I don't want to get with the people who moved at a party to live their best life, and that's just not my thing. My thing is to really understand who they are. Therefore, I can therefore understand more about me.
Yeah. I mean,
Just because you're leaving and all is fine and good, believe me, you are leaving holes. You are leaving voids. And people are saying, "Well, I lived in Texas, or I lived in California somewhere, or New York." But you was just a flight, a few hour flight away, or a few hour drive away, and you were still in America. See, now you've gone to another country, and there is worry. Parents worry about their children. It never goes away. At least not for me. So I want you guys to carry that with you. And I would like to hear some thought about how the Americans who moved to Africa, how they dealt with their individual family. Not the whole world, but how they deal with that individual family thing. What was it like? Did you ever sit down and ask them, what does it mean to you that we're leaving? Not ask them to support me or whether you do or you don't, but ask them, what is my leaving doing to you? I think it might give you a little understanding, and even I think it would even benefit you. And we got to do this the right way, because we have left a hole, and so we don't want to leave that hole and then leave a bad legacy. So I want you guys to succeed, become billionaires and millionaires. I still won't move to Africa, but I have a little spot out back. So, Baba Zulu.
All right.
Much
Well,
love.
Well, I guess to your topic, I'm gonna take care of that. That's gonna be mine. I'm gonna reach out to our American friends over there and see if I can get them something recorded, maybe, or if I can even get them on.
Yeah.
And they can talk about what you just mentioned. Because you got a good point. We never discussed that. You know, especially I know I don't, because I'm like, well, I'm gonna do what I want to do. So
I feel like I shy away from them because, like, I don't want to feel guilty for doing what I want to do.
Scary.
And I mean, but at the end of the day, there's no reason for you to feel guilty to do what you want to do.
No, I mean, like, guilt can be a valid, like, feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can feel guilty about something even if you didn't do anything wrong. Like, you can still feel guilty.
And see, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
Even Stacey's comment right there. You shouldn't feel guilty about doing what you want to do. That could come off as very selfish, and not. It's not that you don't have a right to do what you want to do. It's how you voice that. And if you and acknowledge, and you have to acknowledge somebody else's feelings. It's got to be a mutual. You see what I'm saying? We have to respect yours, and you should have some respect for ours, and at least have an understanding. Because I'm just speaking my truth. I don't know about anybody else's family. I'm speaking about this family.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna take care of that.
I don't understand what Ariel is feeling guilty about, but feeling guilty is a credible emotion. I think you turn around and tell her you sorry for telling her that.
Now I think you're going to make her cry. That's what I think you're going to do.
I'm not gonna cry.
She ain't gonna cry.
Yes, she is.
You are too, probably.
I'm good. I'm good. I am totally fine with the decision I made. I am totally fine. I don't have any second guesses, any reservations. You say it sound selfish, but that's just the way I feel.
And I'm right. And I welcome that. Yeah. I accept that.
And that's not to say that I'm not close with my family, but I'm just satisfied with the decision I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
we've been here forever. And then, like, some of the families that voice their opinions, we don't see them anyway. You know what I mean? Like yesterday when I called my friend, he was right there. When I called my friend, he said, "Yo, man, you coming to see us?" I haven't talked to him in months, probably longer than months. So you got the same people that you're talking about that's voicing a strong opinion, but neither one of us has seen any of those family members in forever. You know what I mean? But then the ones that we see, I understand. I definitely understand that. But when we come in town, sometimes we don't see our family members. So why should we really even care about what their opinion is when we don't see you anyway, when we live 45 minutes from you?
I mean, I think clearly Daddy's talking about people that we.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about just family members in general that, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he's talking about family members that, like, we talk to on a regular basis and come see us or, visit them, that kind of stuff. Somebody we haven't seen in like years or whatever, like, they're probably not going to have much to say about us.
They actually got a lot to say. But let's carry on. I think we're doing pretty good here.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I'm definitely gonna take on that task. I'm gonna take on that task and get some videos from people that already moved or moving. Maybe even get some videos of some people that don't want us to leave and get them on tape and they can tell us why they don't. You know what I'm saying? We can get both sides of it.
yeah, that would
Okay.
be kind of cool to do like that would be really cool to do like a montage
Mhm.
of people just saying farewell and how they feel and
Yeah, we
Uh,
can
oh, I'm definitely gonna cry on that one.
we can definitely get a
okay.
list of names and just reach out to them and see if we can get it recorded. I prefer it being recorded and just go from there.
Okay. Can we address Tanya Barnes?
Yes. What did she say?
She said that was very emotional. However, regardless of family or friends, we can't live our lives for other people. Yes, acknowledge your family's feelings for leaving, but do what works for you. Let's
I
see.
I
totally
think
agree.
I, I
I,
think I think that that is along the same movement that what I'm trying to address is that yes, do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. But you have to, I think, in order to me, in order to really understand your whole purpose, I think you have to address that emotional side. You have to ask why is it that people don't want me to go, or why is it that people, or why do people feel like they do about us leaving? Either the naysayers or the yaysayers. Why are you saying it's okay for me to leave? What's the difference between how you look at it and how those who say we shouldn't leave look at it? Just as an intellectual investigation, a deep dive into understanding how we respond to emotional situations. How we respond to emotional situations. Because I've asked myself personally, why is it that uh, Ariel and Stacy leaving bother me? And honestly, there are two questions or two emotional feelings that I deal with. Fear, fear, that's the biggest one. I fear for you guys' safety. And I'm not in a specific sense, but just in a general sense. You know, if you look at the apex of the animal structure, the higher apex beings are very, very family orientated. The ones on the lower half, they lay eggs and keep going and move on, or go die off, or eat the husband, or something like that. But when you look at apex animals, they they are family. I'm talking about from buffaloes to elephants to bears to puppies. They have a. I mean, as you go up, there's a greater connectivity. And see, I don't think you guys really understand when you leave, and this is an emotional gap, an emotional hole that only you can feel. I can't go out there and start a hobby that will fill the gap or help me deal with the fear of you guys leaving and going somewhere else. There's nothing. There's nothing you could say to me. You could show me 5 million videos of how people are happy about doing what you guys are doing, and that would not alleviate my fear or fill that hole, because I've already made my decision that I think this is, if you guys think it's the best thing, then it's the best thing for me. So how I feel about it, whether I want you to go or stay, really it's not important. And that's how I think that you guys look at it. It's not really that important because you're going to do what you want to do. And I would just like those feelings to be acknowledged. Go ahead, Ariel.
We was dealing with something else just now. Go ahead.
Okay.
So comments. Hold up. Dobby wants to be on the video apparently. Let me see. A lot of comments. Okay. So we already did this one. No. I think they're the most important moments of this channel. Changing the narrative is about to go through these hard times in order to bridge the gap. Yeah.
Amen. I can
For
appreciate
sure.
You can let him in.
Bebo asked, what are our zodiac signs? Your family looks solid. Capricorn,
Gemini,
Aries, Virgo.
I don't think what Zulu Baba is saying is not women. I don't think what Zulu Baba is saying, it's not wrong, but in life you need to live out of the box. Sometimes you need to move to prosper. Any decision you make and it makes happy is not a sin.
I agree. I'm not calling it a sin. Really, I'm not. I think everybody might be maybe I'm coming off that way, but I'm not. Yeah.
no, I don't think you are.
Yeah. I just think it's important to talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
Rodney says, I traveled to South Africa for the first time in February. I was so impressed with how it was treated. Born and raised in NYC, yet America doesn't feel like home. I agree. Struggled with that coming back here too.
Yeah.
Losey says the fear of the unknown is normal and can only be understood. You cannot be stuck in situations because you don't want to hate feelings because you are not going to be happy living through other people's eyes. Yeah. Separation anxiety is normal. I cry every time when I have to go back to Canada from SA. With time, Baba Zulu will accept as he starts to visit Africa. He will understand. If Baba Zulu comes to SA, his feelings will change. I don't think Brent and Stacy don't feel that your emotions and feelings are unimportant. I think maybe they just didn't look at it from your perspective.
That comment I totally agree with, and that was my main purpose for talking, for understanding where I'm coming from. That's all.
Yeah, Tanya, you're absolutely correct.
And maybe now you've articulated that to them, they see it differently. Yes.
That was my hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've brought me on the verge of tears, I think we're done for today.
I told you it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time. Oh, little red eye. So
I'll be back.
I'm gonna close out.
No, I'll be back.
See what you done did, man. She's gonna get some Kleenex. She's gonna give you a hug.
That's my kindred spirit right there.
Y'all check this out, y'all. Check this out, y'all. He might cry too.
Let him see me and my baby.
He might get. They both gonna be in color. He crying too. He crying too, y'all. Big old baby.
I'm all discombobulated now.
This was pretty good. Go ahead and close it out on that note.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you joining this family discussion I wasn't expecting, but it was needed.
Just be back next week for the finale.
Be back next week.
But okay, yeah, you can do that. But I might need more than a week to get all that information together, all the videos.
Now,
You know,
we need
gotta-
to get working on it today. Wow.
Yeah, I'll try to reach out to some people today. Right now in SA, it's what 7:30, 8:30. I'm sorry, and I have to reach out to them and see what I could do. But I'm gonna do my best. The people here in the States, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. We just have to figure out who we're going to get on. Maybe your mama.
Yeah, maybe get on.
You can't. I probably can't though. So, all right, that's it.
All right.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Baba Zulu, for sharing your feelings today. And we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all probably later.
You stealing my baby away from me. Thief. You big black thief. I'm gonna call the police. That big black man is stealing my daughter.